Welcome back. Today we will be talking about Fernando Alonso's time at McLaren, a time that was filled with many disappointments and absolutely no positives. For the years he spent there, it wasn't very good. We gotta go back to where it started though. We gotta go back to 2007 Formula One season, where he was coming off two back-to-back world titles with this old team Renault. He was paired alongside a rookie, Lewis Hamilton. You know, rookie teammate, two world titles, should be a path to an easy three-peat. Really should be. It wasn't. He finished behind his teammate in the standings. Neither of them won the world title. There was controversy after controversy. Hungary 2007 got a penalty in qualifying for blocking his teammate. It was Hamilton, of course. Then there's the whole Spygate scandal. That was controversial. Caused drama behind the scenes, obviously. Fined $100 million, throwing out the championship. Very bad on everyone's part, really. It was disappointing. And so he left. He left McLaren, went back to Renault, then went to Ferrari, then went back to McLaren. His Ferrari contract was going to end in 2016. He opted out. He bought out his contract, went out early to go back to McLaren and go to the McLaren Honda project. The McLaren Honda project was a disappointment in and itself. For one, they did a post-season test in 2014, and it was crap. And it's not very good. 2015 preseason testing. Fernando Alonso crashes. He passes out, wakes up a few days later in hospital. Depending on who you ask, he has amnesia, but that was complete BS. Cause of the crash was never actually officially said. They said it was a gust of wind. Other drivers claim there was no gust of wind to crash with, but it is what it is. So Fernando Alonso misses the first few races of that season and starts the 2015 season. He did, both the team and him had their own dramas, but it was awful. The team was bad. The team he left, Ferrari, was out there winning races. In fact, the only team that wasn't Mercedes to win races that season. He was struggling to finish in the points. There were famous radio messages at Canada and Japan, Honda's home race, at a track that Honda owned, actually. The GB2 engine, really rubbing salt in the wound of the disappointment that is the McLaren Honda engine. 2016, McLaren and Honda both introduced new parts and improvement. They got better, more consistent. Still bad, still below where they should be, but better. And Fernando Alonso was still saying things to the press. He was still doing Fernando Alonso, and was still disappointed with what had become of his career at this point. 2017, there's new rule changes, of course. The wider cars, the wider tires, the faster cars, everything's new in the aero department. So, McLaren introduced their size 0 packaging for their chassis and their aero. The Honda engine was redesigned to follow a Mercedes-type split turbo architecture, but McLaren did not consult Honda on the 0 package on their chassis. It couldn't fit. The engine didn't really fit in the engine bay. That led to poor performance, poor reliability. Fernando Alonso, despite there being 20 races in the 2017 season, he only competed in 19 because he wanted to go do the Indianapolis 500. So out of the 19 races he competed in, he didn't start one of them, and he DNF'd, 10 other races? He was not doing good. He DNF'd more races than he finished. At this point, he's at his wit's end. He's like, I will leave if I have to deal with Honda next year. So McLaren, behind all this, they were talking up their chassis and aero. They're like, our chassis and aero is so good. It's the best on the grid. It's only the engine that makes us bad. That's important to start. So they switch to the Renault power unit, which has been powering race wins in the back of the Red Bull, which at the time, most people thought consensus was that was the best chassis and aero on the grid. So now you have the same engine. You claim you have a better chassis and aero, so you should replace Red Bull's spot as third in the championship. It was not very good. Their car had drag issues, had downforce issues. It was ugly. It was sponsorless. It looked fat. I don't know how you make a fake race car look fat, but they did. It looked chunky. I really don't know how you pull that off. And after that, he left. Fernando Alonso was like, I'm done. I quit. I'm done. Peace out, dog. And he came back a few years later with a different team. But being beaten by a rookie teammate, driving around back of the grid, crap car, breaking down every other week, and then driving a car that was ugly, flat, fat, and slow. You know, considering what Fernando Alonso and McLaren's hopes were for their partnership, that was quite disappointing. And his behavior actually might block him from doing the Triple Crown of Motorsport, as Honda may or may not let him drive an Indy car. But he's doing good now at Aston Martin, consistently finishing in the points, challenging for podiums regularly. But if you could take back his attitude, I think he would take back his attitude. McLaren, still struggling. They peaked at third in the championship and won one race, which was Monza 2021. They fired the guy who won the race for them. He deserved to be fired, though. He was underperforming. They're updating their facilities, which I think is the big thing that they needed to do. There's only so much you can do when your facilities are so outdated in comparison to your rivals. But the upgrade package seemed to have worked for 2023. Their car is consistently one of the fastest cars at every track. It finishes in the points regularly. Lando Norris has out-qualified Sergio Perez, who's in the Red Bull. Don't know how he managed that. Sergio Perez start being good, I guess. All in all, their split was better for both parties. Even if McLaren had improved their performances, the damage was already done. A lot of McLaren's issues in this partnership were their management. They fired people, they hired new people, they changed their management structure, they have sponsors now. All in all, both parties still have to improve to get to where they both want to be. But that's it for now.